20 Years Later is a gripping crime thriller by Charlie Donlea that intertwines a decades-old murder case with the tragic events of September 11, 2001. The novel follows Avery Mason, the ambitious host of the television show American Events, as she delves into the story of Victoria Ford, a woman whose remains were recently identified among the victims of 9/11. Victoria had been the prime suspect in the murder of her lover, renowned novelist Cameron Young, just before the attacks. Goodreads. In 2001, Cameron Young was found hanging from the balcony of his Catskills mansion, with evidence pointing to Victoria Ford as the perpetrator. Before she could be brought to trial, Victoria perished in the collapse of the World Trade Center's North Tower. In a desperate final phone call to her sister, Emma Kind, Victoria pleaded for her innocence to be proven. Goodreads. 2 decades later, advancements in DNA technology lead to the identification of Victoria's remains. Avery Mason seizes this opportunity to investigate the cold case, aiming to boost her show's ratings and secure a lucrative contract. She partners with Walt Jenkins, a former FBI agent who had originally worked on Cameron Young's murder investigation. Unbeknownst to Avery, Walt has been tasked by the FBI to monitor her due to suspicions about her connection to her father, Garth Montgomery, a notorious fraudster who disappeared years earlier. Super summary. As Avery and Walt delve deeper into the case, they uncover that Victoria had written several manuscripts mirroring novels published by her college roommate, Natalie Ratcliffe. This discovery raises questions about authorship and identity. Further investigation reveals that only a single tooth was recovered to identify Victoria's remains, leading Avery to speculate that Victoria might have survived the 9/11 attacks and assumed a new identity. Super summary. Throughout the novel, themes of truth, justice, and the long-lasting effects of trauma are explored. Avery's personal history, marked by her father's criminal activities and her family's subsequent downfall, parallels the central mystery, adding depth to her character and motivations. The narrative is filled with unexpected twists and turns, keeping readers engaged until the very end. Super summary. 20 Years Later is a testament to Charlie Donlea's ability to craft a suspenseful and thought-provoking thriller that examines the intersections of personal and collective histories. Review. 20 Years Later by Charlie Donlea. Charlie Donlea's 20 Years Later is a masterfully crafted thriller that intricately weaves a cold case murder mystery with the emotional weight of 9/11. The novel's rich narrative, complex characters, and expertly timed twists make it a standout in the crime thriller genre. Plot and structure. The story begins with a high-concept premise. The identification of 9/11 remains reignites interest in a decades-old murder case. Victoria Ford, presumed guilty of murdering her lover, Cameron Young, in 2001, left behind a plea of innocence just before perishing in the Twin Towers. 20 years later, Avery Mason, a shrewd and ambitious journalist, takes on the case in pursuit of truth, or, more accurately, a sensational story for her TV show. Donlea balances dual timelines, 2001 and the present, with precision, ensuring the past bleeds effectively into the present. The murder mystery surrounding Cameron Young is cleverly interwoven with Avery's personal stakes and the broader historical tragedy of 9/11, adding depth and emotional complexity. Characters. Avery Mason is a protagonist who commands attention. Her tough exterior and calculated ambition are tempered by vulnerabilities tied to her father's criminal legacy. As she navigates her investigation, her inner conflict adds layers to her character, making her more relatable and human. Walt Jenkins, the retired FBI agent with his own personal demons, is an excellent foil to Avery. His quiet intensity and moral compass ground the story. Victoria Ford's character, though revealed primarily through flashbacks and evidence, is compelling. Her desperation to clear her name, combined with the eerie possibility that she might have survived 9/11, creates a sense of urgency that drives the narrative forward. The supporting cast, including the enigmatic Natalie Ratcliffe, adds intrigue and raises questions about identity, creativity, and betrayal. Themes. Donlea delves into themes of justice, identity, and the long shadow of history. The novel explores how trauma reverberates through time, whether it's a family grappling with its past, a country processing a national tragedy, or individuals fighting to reclaim their stories. The story also raises thought-provoking questions about morality in journalism and the pursuit of truth versus sensationalism. The use of DNA evidence as a pivotal plot point is particularly effective, reflecting real-world advancements in forensic science. It adds a layer of realism and contemporary relevance to the story, grounding the otherwise twist-heavy plot in tangible science. Pacing and writing style. The pacing is brisk, with each chapter ending on a note that compels the reader to keep turning pages. Donlea's writing is sharp and immersive, painting vivid scenes that bring the story's settings, from the bustling newsroom to the eerie Catskills mansion, to life. The transitions between timelines are seamless, never leaving the reader confused or overwhelmed. Donlea's knack for suspense is evident in the steady drip of revelations. The reader is kept on edge, questioning every character's motivations and the reliability of the evidence. Even seasoned thriller fans will likely be surprised by the twists, culminating in an ending that satisfies while leaving room for reflection. Strengths. Complex characters. Avery Mason is a standout lead, with her flaws and determination making her a character worth rooting for. Engaging plot. The blend of September 11th's emotional resonance with the gripping murder mystery is unique and compelling. Themes and depth. The novel goes beyond a typical whodunit, delving into issues of legacy, identity, and societal memory. Twists and turns. The plot keeps readers guessing, with revelations placed at just the right moments to maximize impact. Critiques. While 20 years later is a thrilling read, some elements could have been explored further. For instance, the subplot involving Avery's connection to her father, Garth Montgomery, though intriguing, feels slightly underdeveloped in comparison to the main murder mystery. Additionally, the possibility of Victoria Ford's survival, though compelling, may stretch believability for some readers. Conclusion. Charlie Donlea delivers a riveting and thought-provoking thriller in 20 years later. With its expertly woven plot, dynamic characters, and exploration of weighty themes, the novel transcends the bounds of typical crime fiction. It's not just a mystery, it's a meditation on truth, legacy, and the enduring impact of historical events. Fans of Donlea and newcomers alike will find themselves captivated by this intricately plotted and emotionally resonant story. Highly recommended for readers who enjoy crime thrillers, cold cases, and stories with emotional depth. This novel is sure to keep you guessing and thinking long after you've turned the final page. Rating: 4.5 out of 5 stars.